Hello, you guys, and guess who's back, 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 back again, again. Valerian's back. What's up, you guys? And welcome to, not sure what I want to call it yet. Not really sure what I want to name the series, because I have decided that I am going to do the old Road to the End on Feed the Beast. But don't really know what to call the new series that I'm going to do with it. But anyways, as we go through, for the people who were here for Road to the End, you'll notice subtle differences. I'm not going to point out the differences, but you will notice differences, and let's just see how close of attention you paid on the Road to the End series, and you can tell me what those differences are, and you will continue to see some differences. And one thing I am going to change is I think I'm going to change those up there. I'm going to change them to be the same as right here. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to do improvements like that. I have not fixed this yet. I fixed the nether building, and somebody just tweeted me, "Go through the fence!" And I've not fixed the stairs yet, but I did fix the ceiling. So we have some improvements. Oh crap, and I still gotta fix this. We have some improvements to do still. I need to find a fairly empty chest to empty out my inventory. But yeah. So I've got a question for you guys. Now, there's been some talk, and some of you guys are like, oh well, you know, you should just I would much rather see this than Project Feed the Beast, and you know, so on and so forth. That is fine, but I'm gonna ask you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna put a poll on Facebook, and I want you to vote. Do you want? Because I'm still gonna do both series, but do you want it to be primarily the new Road to the End, or are all these trees gone? All the dark oak is gone. Is there not dark oak in Feed the Beast? Huh. This was a dark oak forest. But anyways, would you rather see more of this Road to the End, where we've got this epic castle? Basically, everything's already built for us, so we can just mainly focus on Feed the Beast in a whole instead of building. I mean, I'll still build, but... Or would you rather see more of Project Feed the Beast? Okay, and I'm going to put a poll up on Facebook, and you guys can go. I'll put a link in the description of my Facebook page, but it's simply facebook.com/AlarianCenter, and you just tell me what you want to see. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show you guys that I did do. Let me plant these trees real quick first. Boop. Okay, it's Minecraft music. I was like, I hear something, but I'm not quite sure what. Okay, so I am just super, like, in the last video, I was just like, I'm so stoked. I'm absolutely in awe at the fact that we can play Road to the End on Feed the Beast. So I gotta show you guys something. And if you guys are like, oh, are you potioned up? If you weren't here for Road to the End, we've got our beacon up there, and it gives us a jump boost, and that just continues to cycle. So then, you know, I can jump over fences and stuff like that. But yeah, okay. Anyways, there's something I want to show you guys. I've been working on. I said I was gonna do, but it would have taken forever to do it unless I live streamed it. Let me take a drink real quick. All right. You guys probably already see it. Like, oh my god, what did you do? Oh, nope. Okay, so basically you got a rail cart system. And I'm gonna go. Boop. Go. So, and then, boom. It's gonna take us to the other portal. So how have you guys been? I've missed recording, you know, and I've got, you know, a nice little tan going on a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. I appear to still be a little bit red from the sunburn, but I had a blast. We went to Warp Tour, and that was epic. We got to meet, if you don't know who it is, no worries, but we got to meet Motionless in White, which is one of our favorite bands. So that was an absolute blast. And one of the bands that we were looking forward to seeing the most ended up not being there. So that was kind of a bummer. But then we went back and we visited some of my family for the week. And then we went to Italian Fest. And if you don't know what Italian Fest is, oh, excuse me, it is exactly what it sounds like. Get out. There we go. It is exactly what it sounds like, and it's basically a festival based on Italy. You know, it's got the Italian food, they've got some like Italian church going on. Oh my goodness. And stuff like that. I need to eat. Not in the game, in real life. IRL. You know, and that was basically, we had some good Italian food while we were there, and I had my first legal drink in public. I mean, that's nothing too big, but and we went to the farmers market. If you don't know what a farmers market is, it's basically where a bunch of the local farmers get together and well, I guess they don't get together. Well, yeah, a bunch of local farmers get together and they basically, I need torches really bad. They wow, how do I want to say this? They get together and they sell their own products. Like, you know, a lot of them will make like jelly. You can just buy straight up produce like tomatoes and corn and stuff there, but like jellies and dips and jams and just all sorts of stuff like that. We kind of checked that out. We really didn't get anything at all there. We just kind of walked around to see what everybody had, because nothing really caught our eye. Okay, now I need to go up and get steaks. But let's see here. What else did we do? You know, we hung out, like I said, hung out with family. We went shopping. My dad actually bought a new toy, and it is a 1955 Chevy. Yeah, and this thing is a beast. It's got a brand new motor in it, and the motor's all chromed out and got like flames on it and stuff like that. It's absolutely sick. I loved it. So we rode in that quite a bit. Other than that, we just kind of hung out with family. And just relaxed. But I can honestly say I am super sorry if that's loud, super happy to be back and recording, to be back at work and stuff like that, because it is just nice to be home. Like, don't get me wrong, I had an absolute blast while I was on vacation. It's just nice to be back home and settled. Whoa, and I was gonna say something else, I forget what it is. Oh, another thing I did when I was on vacation was Apple. Is I went to Best Buy and I checked out some graphics cards. Well, yeah, I did check out graphics cards for the computer, because my fiance just let me know that we're going to start doing upgrades on the computer, so that's pretty awesome. But then I checked out capture cards. I checked out some more accessories for the computer, such as like a new I just cannot think right now. Holy crap. A new webcam. There we go. A new camera. And, you know, just checked out. I wanted to see if they had like a microphone screen. Oh my god, my mind is just in so many places right now. A microphone screen to go in front of the blue so I could get, you know, closer or whatever. And let's say like, oh crap, hold on a second. I'm sorry, you guys. That was probably extremely loud for you. That was my air conditioner. That is way too loud to to have on while I'm recording. But I have a feeling that a screen for my microphone would help that out a lot, because you wouldn't get as much of the background noise. And I would hope that it would kind of help with the clicking of the keyboard as well. And I did look at some different keyboards as well. You know, clearly I am not financially set to just purchase all of this stuff at once. It's something that's going to happen over time. Don't forget that there is a donate button on my YouTube page as well, and that's, you know, I'm not saying donate. It is something that is completely optional to you. If you do not want to donate, do not donate. It's as simple as that, because, you know, I just want it to be a case where they're like, oh yeah, bro, I'll help you out with this, or like, yeah, no, man, I don't have a problem doing this. You know, it's like, it's more of it's there if you want to. Like, I'm not gonna beg for donations. I'm not begging, you know, because I'm kind of a prideful person, I suppose, and I like when I buy stuff with my own money. You know, who doesn't? Because then I can say, yeah, I earned that. But somebody put a bug in my ear not that long ago, and they're like, yeah, you should put a donate button on your YouTube channel. And I was like, what? I was like, you can do that? And they're like, yeah, you can do that. And I'm like, I did not know that. So I put the donate button on the YouTube channel, and if you want to donate, you can. If not, well, that's fine too, because I really don't care. Like, you know, I'm not one for handouts, so it's just basically the option. Like, I cannot stress enough how if you don't want to donate, I'm not pushing anybody to donate. But if you do donate, all donations go right back into the YouTube channel for, you know, let's say a capture card or a new webcam or, you know, a microphone screen. Like a microphone screen, I want to say is like $12 if I order one. So let's see, is there anything down here? Nope. Okay. So let's go exploring. Okay. Go this way. Let me sure. Okay, there we go. All right. I was just making sure that I had the beacon set. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so crazy story. I have to tell you. Okay, so I didn't plan on coming back till this morning. Okay, so it's Monday morning for me. I did not plan on coming back till this morning. I ended up coming back last night because one of my employees had something come up where she could not open the store. So I had to open the store. So I had to come back last night. I was kind of irritated. I was like, really, you should have, you know, told me about this sooner, and I would have done the schedule accordingly, but whatever, don't worry about it. Just get there when you can. I'll open the store. And I'm kind of glad that we came home last night, because we got home about midnight, and very nice. Yeah, all my horses are gone, too. We came home at about midnight, and what the hell? I'm sitting on the couch or whatever. We just got home. I was just kind of regrouping and making sure that we had everything and that, you know, we didn't forget anything, stuff like that. And my fiance goes to use the restroom, right? Okay. And I'm sitting here, and I hear this really loud screech, and it went on for, I'd say a good 10 seconds. And then I hear a big and I was like, what the hell was that? And then it clicked. I was like, that was a freaking car accident. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And my fiance yells, what was that? And I was like, I think that was a car accident. So I ran to my bedroom, because basically the way it sits is like, you walk in my front door over here. You've got the computer area over here. My fiance's little studio for her painting. Well, I shouldn't say little. It's her studio for painting is over off that way. And we have a living room that way. The kitchen is that way, and then you go through the kitchen and you can go to our bedroom, and the bedroom faces the street, right? And basically we're sitting like right on the corner of an intersection, and I like hopped up. We had all the windows open, so I mean it was extremely loud to us. I hopped up and I went and I looked outside, and there was this car. Okay, so there's a church across the street, and this church has this big concrete wall, okay? And when I say big concrete wall, I mean it's not like huge, but it's a decent sized concrete wall. And there was a car that just smashed into it. I mean, this car was no longer a car. It was a pile of freaking metal, okay? Like, there was no car left. And my fiance, you know, she ran out of the bathroom and came. And I was like, call 911 now. Because I was like, that person is not okay. And like, I jumped up and I ran outside. Like, I was ready to leap into action. Like, I will save you! No, but I was like, call 911 now. And I sprinted down the stairs outside. And there had to be a cop that literally watched it happen, because in the span of it happening, me going to check it out, to see what that loud noise was for sure, and then me getting down the stairs, that probably was like a 30-second span, because like my adrenaline was pumping, and I was like, I've got to do something. Like, I've got to, like, something's got to give. Like, what do I do? And I run outside, and there's already a cop there, and I run over there, and this car was just, it's done for, okay? And the guy that was driving, he was the only one in the vehicle, was just screaming bloody murder. Like, this dude, I'm not gonna lie, he was pretty messed up, and it was one of those things where it gives you that little sinking feeling where you're just like, shit, dude, like, this is not okay, this is not good. And basically I stood there for a little bit, and it ended up there's 2 fire trucks, 2 rescue vehicles, an ambulance, and like 5 police end up showing up, and they take the dude to the hospital. And I've been checking our local news website to see, you know, if he's okay, because like he was, like I said, screaming bloody murder. He had to be in an extreme amount of pain, you know, and I just felt super, super bad. But on the flip side, I went and I kind of checked out the black marks and, you know, where he hit and everything. This dude had to be going so fast for this to happen, because basically I said that like the squeal marks went on for a good, I'd say, I don't know, I think I said 10 seconds. That might be an exaggeration. I'd say for sure at least 5 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Okay, so maybe like 4 seconds, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, when you're crashing a car, 4 seconds feels like forever. I don't know if you've ever been in a car accident, but everything moves in slow motion, okay? I'll tell you a story about me crashing a car after this. And so I'd say probably a good 4 seconds. And then the loud crash, okay? So in this area, with the way he was coming from, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, and I know a lot of our viewers go by kilometers, but I do not know the transition to kilometers offhand. But yeah, he was going 20 miles, or the speed limit is 25 miles per hour. And basically, with the intersection, like, so you've got the 4-way stop right here, okay? The church sits, this is really hard, church sits here, I sit here. So he came from over here and was going to turn, like, down the main drag, okay? And the black marks from where he had started to hit the brakes start before the stoplight, okay? So I would say it probably starts about 15 feet before the stoplight, goes all the way through the intersection diagonally, well, slanted, and straight into the wall. So this guy, I mean, he had to be going a ridiculous speed. I mean, he had to be doing anywhere between 50 to 80 in a 25. So on the flip side, I'm like, well, either A, you were drunk, or 2, you were just being stupid. So you kind of had it coming, but I feel really bad for you, because he was in a lot of pain, and I don't wish that amount of pain from his screams. I don't wish that on anybody ever, because, you know, and then at one point I heard him scream, "What did I do?" And like, he was just screaming. And there was another guy that came over that lives in the same building as well. I don't think he lives here. I just think he was visiting somebody. But he came over, you know, and like, he's like, grabs his head like this, and his eyes get real wide. And he's like, "I can know that dude." And he's like, "What the hell?" And he just started crying. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is not good. This is not okay. Like, but they took him to the hospital. The wrecker came and got the vehicle, and all's well that ends okay, as long as he is okay. But it was intense. It was absolutely ridiculously intense. I don't think my adrenaline has ever pumped so hard in my life, and I have no clue when I started this video, so this may be a long video, I'm not 100% sure, but it was, I honestly do not think my adrenaline has ever pumped so hard. Like, I was ready to, like, I don't even know, like, like, thinking about it just gets my adrenaline pumping again. It's absolutely ridiculous. It was nuts. But anyways, but yeah, as I was saying, I told you I'd tell you a story about me crashing a car, that's always fun, right? So basically, my dad had this really nice, it was a 2003 Impala, okay, and he loved this vehicle. He kept really good care of it. It was in amazing condition. It was a really nice, really reliable car. And I had a vehicle of my own at the time too, and I decided, well, I needed to go pick up my paycheck, and I decided I wanted to take my dad's car. And I'm like, "Hey, can I take the Impala?" And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just want to." And he's like, "I guess." And he hands me the keys, and off I go. Well, basically, at the time, I worked for what's called a hog confinement, where, you know, they raise hogs and stuff like that. Not one of my favorite jobs, but anyways, I had to go pick it up from a guy who lived out in the country, because he was my boss, and he's the one who paid me. So I go, and I'm going to pick up my check, and I have to turn on a gravel road, and I was going a little bit faster than I should have, and I was kind of screwing around, and I kind of lost control of the vehicle, and I totaled my dad's car. And at first, like, basically what happened was I lost control. I started fishtailing, and then I started fishtailing, and then the back end came around. So I'm going backwards at 45 miles an hour down a gravel road, and I go into the opposite side of the ditch. And it's really weird when you're in a car accident. Like, for instance, I know in the vehicle at the time there was my phone, sunglasses, a box of tissues, a car charger, and for your phone, and some papers. And when this happens, like, everything, like, I was in midair at a certain point. Everything was just kind of floating by me really slowly, and then I hit the ground and everything just flew to the side, like, really fast. And it was just not a good deal. And I called my dad, and I was like, hey, I just ditched the car. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I just ditched the car. And he's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I wasn't doing anything. And later on I did admit to him, I was like, well, maybe I was speeding. And he's like, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. And I'm like, yeah, my dad was so angry. But anyways, at first glance, it didn't really look that bad. It looked like I had just ditched the car. But then when the wrecker came to pull the car out of the ditch, I had actually folded the right rear wheel underneath the car, and I had twisted the frame and screwed up the back end, and the car was totaled. And yeah, because I've been in a total of 3 accidents, and then there was one. I worked for an egg packing plant, and that's exactly what it sounds like. I packed eggs into the cartons like you'd buy at the store, and me and this guy decided that we were going to go to Casey's, which is a convenience store. It's like it's a gas station, to get some lunch. And on the way back, I don't know what the hell he decided he was doing, but he started, it was almost like he deliberately turned the car into the ditch. And I don't know if he was trying to drift or what he was doing, because, I mean, it was a straight path. But yeah, he basically turned square into the ditch, and I flew and smacked my face up against the dash because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt and screwed up my nose. And yeah, so that was fun. And then the third car that I wrecked, it wasn't totaled. It was drivable afterwards. I was driving in a winter storm, okay, which a lot of you people are probably like, well, why the hell were you driving in a winter storm? There's your first mistake. I really did not have a choice, because I went to work and we knew that this winter storm was going to hit, and we're like, hey, can we all go home early? Because, I mean, the weather's supposed to get really bad. And our boss is like, no, you can go home when the work is done. And we're like, but it's going to get really bad. We need to go home. And he's like, no. He's like, just get to work. We're like, really, dude, you're being a dick, but all right. So we finished the work, and I was driving home, and I had a Chrysler Sebring convertible, okay? So it sits really low to the ground, not very much traction, and I'm driving in a winter storm with one of my coworkers that rode with me, and I'm going probably, I want to say like 35 down the highway because it was really bad out, and I hit a patch of ice. And at that point, I was a decent enough driver to know not to overcorrect. So, I hit the patch of ice, and I was slowly sliding towards the ditch. So I just kind of turned the wheel just a little bit, and I hit a dry patch, and that got me back on the road. But after that dry patch, there was another ice patch. So basically, that gave me so much momentum that it slung me across the other side of the road and put me in the ditch on the opposite side. The car wasn't total, just had a little bit of front end damage. Me nor the passenger were wearing a seatbelt. I took a chunk out of my knee. It was nothing serious, and then he kind of bruised up his arm, but that was it. So it is very, very safe to say that we were extremely lucky to not get hurt or killed in that accident, because you hear all the time on the news, like, oh, there was an accident, and, a fatal accident, and especially in the winter around here, because the winters get really, really, really bad. I mean, there's a lot of people that die each year from driving in winter storms, and considering we weren't wearing our seatbelts, we very, very, very easily could have became one of those statistics. And it's really scary. And like I called my dad and told him about this accident that happened. He's like, well, maybe that'll put it into perspective for you that you shouldn't text and drive, shouldn't drink and drive, and I work for Verizon Wireless, so I know about the texting and driving. We promote do not text and drive. We have little posters that say it and stuff like that, so I completely understand that. And then as far as drinking and driving, I'll never drink and drive. That's an absolute stupid idea. And I feel if you get into an accident when you're driving drunk, that you honestly deserve it, because you shouldn't be driving drunk. I've seen so many times where somebody's driving drunk and another person ends up getting killed by the drunk driver. And actually one of my old coworkers, her mom got hit by a drunk driver and almost died, and she still suffers from it to this day, and this was like a year and a half ago. So don't drink and drive, don't text and drive. There's nothing that can't wait until you're done driving. Let me rephrase that. There's nothing so important that it can't wait till you're done driving. And if it is something that is insanely important, pull the hell over. Okay? Like, I'm getting a little touchy about this just because I've seen it way too many times, people dying because they were texting and driving or they were drinking and driving. Like, don't be stupid. Be safe. I want you guys to continue being my viewers, god damn it. I don't want you to die. No, but really, guys, be safe out there. And be cautious, because if you are a very safe driver, kudos to you, but there's a lot of people that aren't. So be very cautious and, just pay close attention to the other drivers, because there's some other drivers. Like, yeah, I would like to give one driver a shout out on my way home from freaking work, okay? So I pull up to the stoplight, right? And I'm in the right lane. There's the turning lane, and then there's the lane to go forward or turn right. And I'm in the lane to go straight or right, and there's this nice Cadillac that pulls up to me. It was Cadillac next to me, and it was Cadillac Escalade, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice little caddy. Well, not a nice little caddy, it was a big caddy, but I was like, yeah, that's a nice Cadillac. And the light turned, okay, so the light was green, okay, and like she pulled up, and the light turned green. I had cars in front of me, and cars started going or whatever, and then she pulls up to the light and stops because the light turned yellow, okay? And I stopped too because the light turned yellow. And then the light turns red, okay? And as soon as it turns red, she hits the gas and blows the red light. So basically what she did was she treated the red light like a green light. And I'm sitting here like, what the hell are you doing? Like, are you like you've got to be kidding me. So and that's why if she would have waited like 2 more seconds to go, she probably would have ended up hitting somebody. It probably wouldn't have been like a serious accident, but regardless, I mean, she very well could have injured somebody, and it's like, don't be dumb. I like to see people live. I don't like to see people die. Yeah, but I'm kind of curious to know if that guy was drunk or not, because if he was, that's terrible. I still wouldn't wish that upon him, but you really should have known better. So yeah, there's a summary of my vacation, and now I've got to get all caught back up on work, so that'll be fun. Oh, it's storming out. Alright, you guys, well, I think I'm going to end this episode here, alright? So if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more, be sure to leave a like. Alright, alright. And also, don't forget about the Facebook poll. I'll put that up here in just a little bit, so it'll be available for you guys to go to once you see this video, alright? There you go. Okay. So yes, of course, right? Thank you guys for watching. You guys stay classy.